DramaAlert Keemstar. DramaAlert. 3 mistakes. Mistakes. Is he eating any sort of organ meats? Is he getting a good source of fat? Fat is a tricky one. Tricky one. Is he cooking his food the right way? DramaAlert Keemstar just kind of put out on social media earlier this month that he is going on the carnivore diet, that he's been doing the carnivore diet, and talks about his personal journey, how he's feeling really good, how he's lost weight. He went from 255 down to 225. He talks about how he's just getting the steady energy, and that if you are someone who is overweight, that you should consider it. And this all makes sense. If you're eating a carnivore diet, you're really ancestrally aligning your body. You're giving your body very bioavailable nutrients. You're giving your body a zero carb regimen, which is allowing your body to shift metabolically into burning fat as its primary fuel source. And when you run on fat and fat ketones, you're just a much more efficient, steady energy source that you're getting. Not only that, but now you're tapping into fat as your primary fuel source. And so your body is essentially using fat within it to optimize and give yourself energy. And so overall, you're gonna lose weight and you're gonna get energy. But I think there might be 3 mistakes. And if you know Keemstar or DramaAlert and you are good friends with him, send him this video, because I'd love to connect with him and just give him some of this feedback, because the carnivore diet does have some nuances. And I think if you just go and eat meat and water, there's a big wave in the community that says that that's just fine. I think for a lot of people, they'll see initial real benefits, but there may be some long-term consequences, and you can change that or avoid those with some very small tweaks. So it's great to see that he's on it. It's great to see that he's seeing benefits and encouraging other people to try it if they're looking to lose weight and optimize their energy levels. First thing I'd say is he eating any sort of organ meats? And the 2 big ones I recommend that I eat regularly are liver and kidney. You don't have to do a ton of them. You don't have to go crazy and eat them raw like I do from time to time. You can definitely eat them in just a normal capacity and just add some liver in every few days. But there are nutrients the animal stores in its body that don't show up in your muscles and actually are stored in your liver and in your kidneys, that are really valuable to get in your diet. And they bring some really powerful nutrients to the human body when you consume those parts of the animal. And it's fairly easy to kind of feel great and go into the diet, but then miss out on these nutrients for months or even sometimes years without having symptoms of the deficiencies. If you want to know more about that in detail, I write about it in my book that I have on the link down below. And I also talk about it in the channel on other videos around what sort of benefits you get from the actual different foods within the animal. The second point I would mention is he getting a good source of fat? Is he getting enough fat? It can be hard to get a good amount of fat when you're on the carnivore diet if you're just eating muscle meat and you're not adding in some sort of fat trimmings, some sort of suet, some sort of source like that to actually bring up your fat macro content. So for most people, I think the optimal start place for carnivore diet is around 70% fat to 30% protein. And that's usually what you get in a ribeye if you eat a ribeye steak. But most people probably aren't gonna eat a ribeye every night. It's just probably not financially and economically feasible. So what you can do is you can get fat trimmings. You can get different types of fat trimmings, whether it's pork fat or beef fat. You can also get egg yolks if they're high quality. And by incorporating these in the diet and adding them with your meals, you're gonna find that you will feel fantastic. I get a lot of feedback from people that I work with and people who comment to me. And when they learn about eating raw fat trimmings and suet and beef trimmings, they're like, this stuff is amazing. I feel so much clean energy. I have no gut issues. If you try to do fat the wrong way, you can have a lot of gut issues. And again, I talk about this in length in some of my writing and in the book. So fat is a tricky one, but it's an important one because it really helps you optimize your energy. For some people, they're switching into the carnivore diet. They're not eating enough fat and their body doesn't have enough energy coming in to sort of metabolically shift into that and run on that fuel source. Not only that, but fat in general is where the animal stores a ton of the fat soluble micronutrients, the vitamins that you get. So adding that fat gives you a great source for those vitamins that you may not be getting if you're just eating lean muscle meat. And the third point I'll mention is that is he cooking his food the right way? There's definitely ways to do the carnivore diet where you can build up your histamine, you can load your body with polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, things that may be more carcinogenic and also trigger more allergen type responses in your body. Because when you're eating smoked meats, processed meats, meats that are slow cooked, all these things can build up. And you could be thinking that you're eating a super clean carnivore diet, but then you're not following this, or you're just cooking things the wrong way, and you're destroying the water soluble nutrients within the meats. You're also maybe overcooking or just slow cooking and damaging the nutritional content, and you're loading the food with histamine. And when the food gets loaded with histamine, that builds up in your body. And when you have a histamine intolerance, what we call basically what happens when you overload histamine, then you essentially start to realize some really kind of uncomfortable allergen type symptoms. It's very easy to get around this, but it does take some nuance and understanding of what's going on so that you can properly do it. You don't want to take antihistamines. They block your neurotransmitters, your histamines that are supposed to function properly to promote alertness, memory, cognition. So it hurts you to do that, and it's not a good thing. And there's studies out there that show that people can get permanent memory loss when they take them. Mucus layer gets inflamed, and it's used to help protect. So I would suggest learning a bit about how to cook food properly, how to kind of cook more towards rare, eat mainly fresh meats, avoid the smoked, all the processed stuff when possible. And then again, kidney can be a great way to sort of make sure you're on top of the histamine, because when you eat kidney, you get diamine oxidase, DAO, which helps your body break down excess histamine that it's building up when it's eating foods that are triggering the histamine in too much of a load. So if you know DramaAlert Keemstar, send this video his way. I'd love to help him dial in his carnivore diet. If you're new to the carnivore diet and you want to learn more about how to do this the right way and how to kind of navigate the nuances of it, I whipped up a free guide in the video description down below. Click the link. You can get the free guide. It's totally free. You can view our channel for all kinds of other videos on content around how to do the carnivore diet the right way, kind of more depth into what I was talking about around these main big mistakes that could be being made by most people. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share the video, and I will see you on the next one. Let's get optimized.